My family thinks I'm saving money for college. In reality, I'm saving it for a trip just to get on the plane one day and fly away without warning. My family thinks I'm saving money for college, but the truth is, I've been secretly stashing away every dollar I could just to buy a one-way ticket out of here. I guess I should explain. I grew up in a tiny town where everyone knows everyone, and that's not as charming as it sounds. Every time I walk down the street, I feel like I'm living in a fishbowl. My parents believe I'm this disciplined, responsible kid preparing for university life, putting away money for tuition and books. They brag to relatives about how mature I am for my age. I'll be the first in the family to pursue a real degree. But the truth is, the thought of staying here, following the exact same path everyone expects, makes my chest feel like it's caving in. So, I started my little secret fund. At first, it was innocent enough. I told myself I was just saving options, in case college didn't work out. But then I realized the option I really wanted was freedom. Not a classroom, not a lecture hall, not another round of small-town gossip about who's getting married or whose kid is doing what. I wanted to just vanish. Wake up one morning, grab my bag, and catch the first flight I could find to literally anywhere else. I've been hoarding money like a dragon with treasure. Babysitting, mowing lawns, even pretending to tutor kids in math when honestly, I was just Googling formulas 5 minutes before the session. Every time someone paid me, I smiled politely, pocketed the cash, and stuffed it straight into a shoebox hidden under my bed. My parents never questioned it. In fact, they're so proud of me, they sometimes add bonus savings to my jar like, here, put this toward your future. And I do, just not the future they think. It's become kind of addictive, actually, watching the pile grow, knowing that every dollar means one step closer to freedom. Sometimes I sit on my floor at night, counting the bills in the dim light of my desk lamp, imagining all the places I could go. Paris, Tokyo, New York, maybe even some random island where nobody knows my name. The fantasy gets so vivid, I can almost taste the air of somewhere else. But here's where it gets messy. Last week, my mom walked into my room without knocking, classic move, and caught me shoving the shoebox back under my bed. She gave me this weird look, like she had just discovered a secret portal. I panicked and mumbled something about just checking how much I've saved for textbooks. She smiled and nodded, totally buying it. Or at least I think she did. My heart was pounding like I'd just committed a crime. It hit me then. I wasn't just saving money anymore. I was lying. Every single day. And the lie was growing heavier. The worst part? I kind of love it. There's this thrill in knowing I'm hiding a whole future that nobody suspects. My parents talk about scholarships and majors at dinner, while I sit there nodding along, already picturing myself sprinting through an airport, passport in hand, while they're still debating meal plans. The climax of this little secret came a few nights ago. I was scrolling through flight prices online, just for fun, or so I told myself. Then I saw it, a ridiculously cheap one-way ticket to Rome, leaving in 2 months. My finger hovered over the book now button. My chest tightened, my palms got sweaty, and for a second, I swear I could hear the crowd of Foreign City buzzing in my ears. I almost clicked it. Almost. My brain was screaming, do it, while my conscience whispered, what if they find out? In the end, I didn't buy the ticket. Not yet. But now I can't stop thinking about it. The possibility is dangling there, tempting me every time I log in. Nobody in my family has the faintest idea. They still think I'm saving for college textbooks, while in reality, I'm planning an escape worthy of a movie plot. So now I'm stuck with this secret. Every time my dad pats me on the back and says, proud of you, kid, I feel like a fraud. Every time my mom talks about moving day for college, I picture myself boarding a plane instead. And the wildest part? I don't even feel guilty anymore. Just excited. Nobody knows the truth. Not my parents, not my friends, not a single person in this town. For now, it's just me and my shoebox of dreams. But the question keeps eating at me. Will I actually do it when the time comes? Or will I chicken out and fall into the exact life I swore I'd escape? What would you do if you were me? Would you risk it all for a ticket out? Or stay safe and play the role everyone expects? The closer I get to graduation, the more my secret feels like a ticking time bomb. Everyone keeps asking about my college plans, and I've gotten scarily good at lying through my teeth. I'll smile, nod, talk about majors and dorm life, while deep inside all I can think about is my escape plan. It's like living a double life, half diligent student, half runaway mastermind. But let me tell you what happened recently, because it almost blew everything. I came home one evening after babysitting, and my dad was in my room. In my room. He was looking for his charger, or so he claimed, but guess what he was holding? My shoebox. Wide open. My heart dropped so fast, I swear it almost hit the floor before I did. He looked up at me and said, "Wow, you've really been saving." I'm impressed. I froze, tried to read his face. Did he know? Did he suspect? I mumbled something like, "Yeah, I want to be prepared for expenses." My voice cracked. My dad nodded, shut the box, and placed it back under the bed. I stood there sweating bullets, waiting for him to call me out, but he didn't. He just patted my shoulder and left the room. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling for hours, replaying the scene in my head. Was he fooled? Or did he just decide not to push? It was the first time I realized how fragile this whole operation is. One wrong move, one careless slip, and the truth could come crashing down. And yet, the danger made it even more exciting. Since then, I've been even more obsessed. I started keeping a backup stash, small amounts hidden in a second spot, just in case someone accidentally finds a shoebox again. I even wrote down fake notes in a notebook labeled college budget, filled with scribbles about tuition numbers and book costs. If anyone snoops, they'll see evidence that supports the lie. It's wild how much effort I'm putting into this deception, like I'm some undercover agent in my own house. But then came the turning point. Last weekend, I went on a late-night walk with my best friend, Sam. He's the kind of guy who notices when something's off. Out of nowhere, he asked me, "Be honest, you're not actually excited about college, are you?" I almost choked. It felt like he had read my mind. I laughed it off, said something vague like, "Well, who's ever really excited about lectures?" But he kept pressing. "No, seriously, you've been weird lately. Distracted. What's going on?" For a split second, I wanted to spill everything. I wanted to tell him about the shoebox, the flights, the plan to vanish. But then I pictured him telling someone else, even by accident, and my secret unraveling in a single careless moment. So I just shook my head and said, "Nothing. Just stress." Sam gave me a look, the kind of look where you know he doesn't buy it, but he's too polite to push further. The silence that followed was brutal. I realized then how lonely this secret is. It's thrilling, yes, but also isolating. Nobody knows the real me right now. Not even my best friend. A few days later, something even crazier happened. I finally caved and checked flights again. Rome was gone, but there was a new option, Lisbon. Dirt cheap, one way. My hand shook as I typed in my card number. My finger hovered over confirm. This time, I didn't back out right away. I actually clicked through to the final confirmation screen. My stomach flipped, and then I stopped. Why? Because right in that moment, my mom called me downstairs to help her with groceries. The normalcy of it hit me so hard I almost laughed. 1 second, I was seconds away from booking an international escape. The next, I was unloading bags of bread and apples with my mom. She chatted about dinner plans while I was still buzzing from the adrenaline of almost detonating my entire life. That night, as I lay in bed, I realized I was closer than ever to making it real. Too close. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff. You know you shouldn't jump, but the temptation is unbearable. The climax of this whole week came when my dad casually mentioned at dinner that he wanted to help me open a savings account to keep your college fund safe. I nearly choked on my food. If he pushes that idea, the whole shoebox system collapses. I laughed it off, said something about liking to see my progress physically, but deep down I knew time is running out. I can't keep hiding forever. So here I am, living this double life, rehearsing lies like lines in a play, sneaking peeks at flight deals while pretending to care about dorm furniture. Nobody suspects how close I am to walking away from everything. And the wildest part? I've never wanted it more. The shoebox is full. The ticket is waiting. The only thing left is the courage to actually press buy. Would you do it if you were me? Would you keep lying to everyone you love just to chase freedom? Or tell the truth and risk losing your chance to escape? The thing about living a double life is that eventually the cracks start to show. And lately, I feel like I'm running out of excuses. It started with small slips. My mom asked me what kind of laptop I was planning to buy for college, and I just blurted out, "Oh, I'll figure it out when I get there." She looked at me like I'd grown two heads. When I get there, I hadn't even realized I said it, but my brain had already stopped picturing myself stepping onto a campus. In my mind, I was stepping off a plane. Then there was Sam again. He caught me scrolling through flight prices on my phone during lunch. I tried to play it off as just daydreaming, but he raised an eyebrow and said, "Dude, you look way too serious for someone just daydreaming." I laughed it off, but deep down I knew he was catching on. He's not stupid. He can sense something's brewing. The more I hide, the more paranoid I get. I started locking my door when I'm not home, which raised suspicion. My mom actually asked me if I was hiding snacks in my room. If only she knew it wasn't candy I was hiding. It was an entire new life. And then came the tipping point. I finally booked the ticket. Yeah, I did it. It was late at night, everyone else asleep. I sat there with my shoebox emptied on my desk, cash neatly stacked, my debit card in hand. I stared at the screen for what felt like forever. My heart was pounding so loud, I thought it might wake up the whole house. And then I clicked, confirm purchase. Just like that, it was real. A one-way ticket to Lisbon, leaving in 3 months. The second I saw the confirmation email, I swear my entire body went cold. I thought I'd feel euphoric, triumphant, like I had just unlocked the door to freedom. Instead, I felt like I just signed a contract with the devil. I shut my laptop, shoved the cash back in a box, and lay in bed with my eyes wide open until sunrise. The next morning, everything felt different. My parents were eating breakfast, talking about their day, and I was sitting there with a secret so massive it was almost laughable. They were debating grocery lists while I was literally preparing to leave the country without a word. Every sentence they spoke felt like static compared to the roaring thought in my head. I'm leaving. I'm actually leaving. But booking the ticket made the stakes real. And with reality came fear. Suddenly, the lies weren't casual anymore. They were survival. My mom wanted to visit campuses just to see. I had to make up some excuse about not wanting to jinx my chances. My dad suggested setting up that savings account again. I told him I liked having control over my money, which earned me a suspicious side eye. And Sam? He's the worst of all, because he keeps looking at me like he knows. He hasn't said anything, but his silences are louder than his words. I catch him watching me, waiting for me to slip. Sometimes I wonder if he already figured it out and is just waiting for me to confess. The climax of this part came yesterday. I was home alone, checking the airline's website to make sure my ticket was still confirmed when I heard the front door open. I panicked, slammed my laptop shut, and shoved it aside. My mom walked in, holding a piece of mail. She said, "This came for you. It looks important." It was from the airline. I nearly fainted. She handed me the envelope without a second thought, then went to the kitchen. My hand was shaking so bad I almost dropped it. I dashed to my room, ripped it open, and saw the words, "Booking confirmation." If she had opened it first, if she had even glanced at it, I'd be finished. That was the moment it hit me. I'm playing with fire. One slip, one wrong move, and the truth explodes. And yet, I couldn't bring myself to regret it, because when I looked at that ticket, I felt something I haven't felt in years. Hope. Hope for freedom. Hope for adventure. Hope that maybe, just maybe, I can rewrite my story. But now the countdown has started. 3 months until departure. 3 months of lying, sneaking, pretending. 3 months of acting like a future college student while secretly planning to disappear. Every day feels heavier, every conversation sharper, every family dinner like a farewell party they don't even know they're attending. Nobody knows the truth. Not my parents, not my friends, not even Sam. Just me and that ticket. So here I am, asking myself the same question over and over. Will I actually go through with it? Or will the weight of the lie crush me before I even make it to the airport? What about you? If you were sitting on a secret plane ticket, would you tell your family or vanish without a word? The thing about setting a deadline, like, say, a plane ticket, is that suddenly every day feels like a countdown. And with each day that passes, I feel myself getting pulled tighter and tighter into this knot of lies. I thought the hardest part would be saving the money or finding the courage to book the ticket. But no, the hardest part is pretending like nothing has changed while I'm secretly packing for the biggest change in my life. The shoebox under my bed isn't just cash anymore. It's a growing collection of little escape items. A new backpack I told my parents was for college. A passport holder I claimed was just for ID. A travel-sized bottle of shampoo I insisted I bought because it was on sale. If anyone actually put the pieces together, they'd see exactly what I was doing. But so far, they haven't. At least, I think they haven't. Because here's where things got scary. A few nights ago, I walked into my room and noticed the shoebox wasn't in the exact spot I'd left it. Maybe I'm paranoid, maybe I'm obsessive, but I know when something's been moved even an inch. My stomach dropped. I checked inside. Everything was still there, but the bills looked slightly less neat, like someone had rummaged through them. The first thought that hit me, my dad. The man has been pushing the bank account idea harder and harder, and if he found out I had way more cash than I ever let on, he'd start asking questions I can't answer. That night at dinner, he casually said, "You've been saving a lot. Huh? You sure you don't want help managing it?" And the way he looked at me, I can't shake the feeling he knows something. But that's not even the worst part. The real climax came from Sam. Yeah, Sam, my best friend, the one person I've been trying to keep at arm's length because I know he'll read me like a book. He showed up at my house unannounced last weekend. Said he just wanted to hang out, play some games. But after about an hour, he paused the controller, looked straight at me, and said, "Okay, I'm done pretending. What are you hiding?" My throat went dry. I laughed it off, tried to change the subject, but he didn't budge. "You're different," he said. "Distracted. Secretive. You don't talk about college like everyone else. And the other day, I saw that airline envelope on your desk. That's when I froze. I didn't even know he'd been in my room long enough to see it." He leaned in closer. "Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you're not planning something crazy." And for the first time, I almost did. I almost spilled everything. But then the image of my parents flashed in my mind. How crushed they'd be if Sam slipped up and said something to them. I couldn't risk it. So I lied. Again, I told him it was just a fantasy, that I like looking at flights when I'm stressed. He didn't believe me. I could see it in his eyes. But he let it go for now. Before he left, he said, "If you're in some kind of trouble, you can tell me. Don't carry it alone." That cut deeper than anything. Because the truth is, I am carrying it alone. And it's getting heavier. Now the days are flying by. 2 months left until the flight. I've started secretly making a list of everything I'll take with me. Things I can fit into one backpack. Clothes, toothbrush, a notebook, the passport I keep hidden in a drawer nobody touches. I've even memorized the exact bus route that'll take me to the airport. And yet, the closer I get, the more conflicted I feel. Every family dinner feels loaded. Every laugh with my mom feels like a betrayal. My dad talks about when you start college, and I nod along, already knowing that on that day, I'll be thousands of miles away. But the scariest part? I think my mom suspects something too. Last night, she hugged me out of nowhere, just wrapped her arms around me in the kitchen and said, "You've been so distant lately. I hope you know you can tell me anything." I stood there stiff as a board, guilt crashing over me like a wave. I wanted so badly to tell her the truth, to drop the whole charade. But I couldn't. I just couldn't. So I smiled, told her I was fine, and went back to my room to stare at the ticket confirmation on my laptop screen. This secret isn't just a secret anymore. It's a ticking bomb. And I'm starting to wonder, when it finally goes off, will it blow up my life or set me free? Because right now, I'm not sure which one I want more. Would you do it? Would you leave everything behind, even if it meant breaking the hearts of the people who love you most? The countdown is over. My flight leaves tomorrow. It feels surreal to even say that out loud, or at least in my head, since I can't exactly tell anyone else. 3 months of living like a spy in my own house. 3 months of lying through my teeth every single day, and now the moment I've been waiting for is staring me in the face. I thought I'd feel ready. I thought the closer I got, the more excited I'd be. Instead, I feel like I'm about to crawl out of my skin. The shoebox is empty now. All the money is deposited onto a prepaid travel card I bought in secret, so my parents won't find the stash. My backpack is hidden in my closet, packed so tight I'm amazed the zipper hasn't burst. Every item in there has been chosen with care. Clothes rolled up to save space, a small notebook, my passport, even the boarding pass printed and folded at the bottom. It's all ready. I'm ready. At least, I keep telling myself I am. But then last night, something happened that almost broke me. We had one of those rare family dinners where everyone was laughing and talking over each other. My dad told a story about when he was my age, how broke he was, how he worked double shifts just to save up for school. My mom added how proud they are that I won't have to struggle the way they did, that my discipline has set me up for a brighter future. And then she said it. You've grown into someone we can trust completely. We never have to worry about you. That one line nearly destroyed me. Because the truth is, I've become an expert liar. Every smile, every nod, every yes, I'm so excited for college has been a performance. I'm not their perfect child. I'm a fugitive sitting at the dinner table, hiding a plane ticket in the drawer upstairs. After dinner, I locked myself in my room and just sat on the floor, staring at the packed bag. My chest hurt, not from fear, not from excitement, but from guilt so heavy I thought it might crush me. I kept asking myself, am I running away from them or from the version of myself they want me to be? And then came Sam. Because of course it had to be Sam. He showed up at my window like some kind of movie cliché, tossed a pebble to get my attention. I slid it open, whispered, "What are you doing here?" He just looked up at me and said, "You're leaving, aren't you?" I froze. My heart stopped. I asked him what he meant, but he just shook his head. "Don't lie. I've known you too long. The secret smiles, the way you avoid talking about the future. You've already decided, haven't you?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. He climbed up, sat on the edge of my bed, and for the first time in weeks, I felt seen. Really seen. He didn't beg me to stay. He didn't call me crazy. He just said, "If you're going to go, then go. But don't pretend you're doing it for freedom if you're really just running from fear." That sentence hit me harder than anything my parents have ever said. Because maybe he's right. Maybe this whole plan isn't about freedom. It's about fear of failing, fear of living a small life, fear of disappointing everyone. Running feels easier than facing all of that. Now it's the night before my flight, and I'm sitting here with the ticket in one hand and my phone in the other. My parents think I'm asleep. My bag is zipped, ready to go. Sam's words keep echoing in my head. I keep picturing two futures. In one, I sneak out tomorrow morning, catch the bus, board the plane, and disappear into the sky while my family eats breakfast without me. In the other, I confess everything, every lie, every plan, every dollar hidden in that shoebox. I stay. I face the fallout. Both futures terrify me. Both futures change everything. The truth? I don't know which one I'll choose. Maybe when you hear this, I'll already be gone, halfway across the ocean, living a story nobody back home will ever understand. Or maybe I'll still be here, grounded by guilt, trying to rebuild the trust one shattered with my lies. Either way, nothing will ever be the same again. So here's my confession. I've spent years pretending to be the perfect kid, the reliable one, the one with a plan. But the only plan I've ever really wanted was to run away. Tomorrow decides if I actually will. And that's where I leave it. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Would you walk away without saying a word? Or would you stay and face the life everyone else planned for you?